Nick Baldwin for SevereMMA here with UFC bantamweight Ricardo Ramos, who takes on Journey Newson this Saturday night at UFC Minneapolis. Ricardo, I appreciate the time. I'm just curious, coming from, are you training in Brazil or do you live in the States now?
Yeah, I started my training camp on in Brazil with my team, and then I moved up to a Hard Knocks 365 to finish the training camp.
So you came to Minnesota from Florida?
Yeah, from
So the
Florida.
Florida's not, or the flight's not too bad.
No, no, for sure not. But I bring my team to from Brazil to help me right here. So I did the training camp in Hard Knocks, but I keep my teammates with me. So
You're coming off that loss to Saeed Nurmagomedov a couple months ago. I'm just curious, what can you take away from it? What can you what did you learn from it?
yeah, learning a lot of things, but I had some health problems on this fight, so my training camp was very, very good, and I did the best training camp I could have. So for sure, always when you lost a fight, you have to look back and see what you have to change. But even when I win, I do that. So I did a lot of changes, and for sure that's makes me better.
Sure. You're fighting Journey Newson. You were supposed to fight Sergio Pettis. Quite the difference in opponent, just because Pettis has a name. He's a pretty good fighter.
Yeah.
He's a top name, and Journey Newson is a newcomer. When did you find out you'd be fighting Journey? When did you find out Sergio was out, and how long have you prepared, or how long have you had to prepare for the new opponent?
It's about 2 weeks, but I was very excited to fight Sergio Pettis, but you have to adapt for everything that will show up. And for now, Sergio Pettis have had an injury, so he cannot fight anymore. And for me, it's I have to adapt and study my opponent like I did, and go there and fight with him, and give my best. That's what I'm gonna do always.
Do you have to change much in your training camp when your opponent changes, or are you kind of just training for yourself and for everything?
Yeah, I do. I had to put some different strategy, but the height is the same. Like he has the same tall of Sergio Pettis, so it's about kind of the same game that I was thinking about to do with Sergio, but he has a different style. He's a different guy, but still being an opponent, and I studied his techniques and everything, and I'm gonna put on the work and win the fight.
What are the challenges of fighting a newcomer to the UFC? Just because you can't go and fight pass and easily find Journey Newson's fights, they're not on there because he hasn't been in the UFC. What are the sort of challenges of fighting someone who's a newcomer?
For me, it's normal. It's simple because always when I fight with someone, I don't look like where this guy is from, what is his name, or yeah, I just have an opponent, a body that I have to beat his techniques, he's only an opponent, and for me, where he's coming from, it's not too important. The important is his fight game, his strategy, his techniques, and I have to beat that. That's how I have to think about it. I don't think about it like, oh, coming from, he's new in UFC. That's not important. Now he's a UFC fighter, and I have to treat him like a UFC fighter.
You weren't the most active throughout 2017 and 2018, but this is your second fight of this year already. Is the hope to stay a bit more active than you have been over the past couple of years?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I made some changes. Like I changed to Paradigm Sports Management. So I love my old management too, but Paradigm is making my life easier, making my job better. We are working on the high level that I could be, you know. So, you know, I want to be the best. I want to be a champion, and I have to walk with champions with, you know, the high level that I can find, you know.
If you're able to stay active like you would like to be able to, do you think you can build enough momentum to sort of over the next year or so become a legitimate contender in the 135-pound division?
Oh, for sure. You know, everything depends about my you know, my the results. So if the numbers say that I have to be a, you know, contender, top contender, that's what gonna happen, you know. But I will only focus on the fights and do my best and give my best on the fights. And if it's coming, all right, better.
You're taking on Journey Newson this Saturday at UFC Minneapolis. How do you think you get the job done?
Knockout.
Any reason to knock out you first round, second round?
No, I don't care. Anyone, it's a win.
Ricardo, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it, and best of luck to you on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.